Hey there, Chef Scott. I'm back. Today we're going to be making a caprese salad. It's actually very easy to do. You really don't need a whole lot for it. There's a little bit of work on the front end if you don't have it. But essentially the main ingredients to make a caprese are you have tomatoes of some type. I like Romas. That's my preference. You have a fresh mozzarella, basil, and then this last thing over here is what we call balsamic reduction. And balsamic reduction is nothing more than balsamic oil that has been reduced, had the moisture removed from it to where it becomes a thick, almost a syrupy type consistency. So just to kind of give you an idea, this is the bottle in which made this little small amount. So once you take the water out of this is a full bottle, it made a very small amount. Now the thing about balsamic reduction is you got to remember is that it does take time. I was talking to a friend earlier and they were like, "Oh, just blast the stove, knock it out in 20 minutes." I'm like, no, that's not how it works. It's a slow thing. So it's one of those things where I would come to work and it'd be one of the first, if we didn't have any any balsamic reduction, I'd usually put some on the stove and kind of let it slowly kind of reduce over time. And I mean, like when I say over time, this took probably 2 hours. So it's not something you stand over the stove and you just come by every few minutes, stir it, and eventually it turns into this nice, like I said, this syrupy type consistency. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and today's lesson will really be kind of a demonstration of really knife skills. That's really kind of what we're doing here because there's no cooking involved. I'm going to be using a French knife. I'm going to be using a offset serrated knife, and I may or may not be using a paring knife. I can get it out of here. I'm trying not to go off the screen here. Okay, so that's it. So 3 knives pretty much. Those are actually the 3 knives I use pretty consistently in all of my, culinary work. I don't really go outside these. I mean, even when I'm boning, I'm usually either using a paring or a French knife. Boning knives are great. There are different types of knives are great. There are certain exceptions, obviously, when I have to use specialized knives, but these are the 3 main ones that I use, and that's pretty much 95% of the time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Like I said, this is a basic, it's a caprese salad. It's Italian. It's very popular. A lot of upscale restaurants will have this. So I'm going to go ahead and start by, I'm actually going to make something called tomatoes concasse. All right, so I'm going to start by cutting my Romas, okay, and I'm going to cut them a little bit here. And what this will be is more like a garnish. Okay, so I'm going to remove the insides from this just by simply slitting it. It should have something that kind of looks like that. All right, remove the insides. All right, and the insides. I'm going to probably do one more since I'm making 2 of these. You don't really need a lot. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and do one more. This salad's not going to take very long. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Rays cap because my Rays are, they was watching them today and they lost a series against Texas, and I'm kind of bummed out about that. And I'm hoping that maybe wearing this hat will turn things around for them because I love the Tampa Bay Rays. I love them. They are my team, and I enjoy watching them. I'm a huge fan of the Tampa Bay Rays. I live in Bowling Green, and we are the farm team for the Rays, so there's actually kind of an interesting little following. We're in Kentucky, and we have a following for the Rays here. It's really, really a lot of fun, but I love the Rays, and I'm just really hoping that they can kind of turn things around. They're right at 500, and like I said, I'd like to see them kind of turn. They are a great team. They've got a lot of talent on that team, and they just need to kind of they're close. They're very close. So enough about the Rays. So we're going to go ahead and we've got 8 of these. We're going to go ahead and just cut them up in a nice dice. Make sure your knives are nice and sharp. All right, I'm going to cut these up, cut them in half, and cut them in a nice medium dice, maybe. Small dice, small to medium dice. This is going to be what goes on top of the salad, along with the basil reduction and chiffonade. Chiffonade will actually be on the very top. Like I said, this salad is a super easy salad to make. I always enjoyed making it because it was, like I said, if you're prepping, if you've got all this stuff prepped, I mean, obviously I'm not going to cut up tomatoes, too many tomatoes, because the tomatoes don't cold. But if I'm, you know, I have a lot of this stuff already prepped, so that when I go to make the salad, you know, it's really just assembly, and that's always kind of nice, just assembly. My first job was working in a French restaurant in a pantry. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to this. Concasse is nothing but oil, salt, and pepper. You can put some Italian seasoning in there. I'm not. I'm just gonna mix that up a little bit. You can add garlic to it if you like. I'm not. You can add parsley to it. Actually, you know what? I'll add a little bit of Italian seasoning. Why not? Just give it something, a little something. I'm going to put some Italian seasoning on the top of the dish as well. So there's tomatoes concasse. It's just, you know, it's a real basic kind of thing that goes just on top of your salad. All right, so now we're ready to make this salad. We've got our salad plate right here. We got 2 of them. We'll just make one, and I'll post it on Instagram. Okay, I usually do an abbreviated video. The YouTube video is the long video. The Instagram video is usually a 60-second snippet of the video, followed by, you know, the plate that it is made. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. Actually, I'm using my serrated edge knife because we're going to cut this about. This is our Roma tomato, so we're going to cut this probably in about 1/4 inch slices, maybe. All right. I'm going to cut up several of them, and I'm going to try to avoid to use the end pieces. I know that's, you know, you want to try to use everything you can, but, you know, sometimes you just can't. So this can be saved for stock. You can use this on stock, but this is going to be for a plate up, so it needs to look pretty. All right, so there's that, and I'm going to cut up one more. And this is going to actually turn out to perfect. All right. So next thing I'm going to do, so I've got these nice. I'll put these down here. So discard these. All right, so I've got these nice slices of Roma tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and lay 2 of them on a plate. I'm actually going to go ahead and plate them both up. Why not? Just plate them both. So make sure. All right. So now my next step is I'm going to go ahead and cut up the mozzarella. All right. So I'm going to use the serrated edge knife, and I'm going to cut 4-inch slices. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this entire thing up. I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way. That way, you know, it's because I'm going to be cutting up some more tomatoes since I'm going ahead and doing 2 plates. All right. So let's see here. I've got these 2 end pieces. I'm going to save those for my kids later. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and lay these down right next to it. Right next to it. Beautiful. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay 2 more down. All right. I'm going to lay 2 more down here. All right. And then I'm going to cut up another tomato. Just going to get some more tomatoes out of this. And if, you know, if I get a little bit of the I'm using some of the same knives. If I get a little bit of the, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to place another piece of mozzarella on both sides. And now I'm going to finish it off. So it should go something like tomato, mozzarella, tomato, mozzarella. I'm sorry, tomato, mozzarella, tomato, mozzarella, tomato. So there should be 6 of these small ones on there. Like I said, you'll see a picture. All right, and so now I'm going to flip this cutting board over. I'm going to move my knives over because I don't need those anymore. I'm going to flip this cutting board over. And I'm going to use this for my plate up. All right, clean the plate off a little bit. Always want a nice plate. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my balsamic reduction. All right, balsamic reduction right here. So I'm going to make sure that the item is centered on the plate. I'm going to turn the plate to where the plate looks like this. And I'm going to do the zigzaggy thing with my balsamic reduction. Remember, it should be the consistency of like syrup. And I bought this bottle today. So you want to make sure you use like a bottle, ketchup bottle. We're going to just go back and forth, real pretty on it. And don't want to use a lot. And back. Back. All right, there's one. And as you can see, it looks, like I said, very pretty on there. I'm not done yet. Okay, another one needs to go. This is going to be my wife's or mine. One. I'm going to do the same thing here. And like I said, you don't want to use a lot of balsamic. Balsamic reduction is really pungent. You want these to be nice. And like I said, when it comes to doing this, just try to be as, you know, Just do the best job you can. All right, so now we've got our plates. We're going to do our basil chiffonade. So basil chiffonade is nothing more than taking a few basil leaves. Let's do maybe 4 or 5. So I'm going to do something in this video I don't normally do. Let's go all the way to I'm going to go all the way to the end. I'm going to do the entire plate up. I don't normally do this in a lot of videos. I kind of just, I show the main process of it. But since this is a video, we're already 10 minutes, but whatever. Some of my videos are long. It's fine. We're going to just roll this up. And we're going to cut this up real nicely, and we're going to lay this right in the middle of our salad. All right. And take this extra. I'm going to put a little extra on there because I love basil. It's my favorite herb. I mean, absolutely my favorite. I love it. This came from my garden, my wife's garden. Full disclosure. All right. All right, so my next step is I'm going to take my tomatoes I'm going to spread those a little bit over the top on the sides here. Just kind of put that off to the side. Do the same thing on this one. This is such a beautiful plate. It really is. And then my last step I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of herbs, a lot. Just a little bit of herbs on the plate, just to kind of give it a little. And I'm going to use Italian herbs because this is an Italian dish. Oh, this is really, really pretty. This is a really pretty salad. And it's a gorgeous salad. And it's so simple. You can really dazzle people by doing this. All right. I haven't made one of these in a long time. So, here we are. There's our caprese. Lots of different ways in which you can make it. But this took me about 10 minutes. Like I said, we'll prep on the balsamic reduction, but that's it. Easy salad to make, lots of fun. And hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys really soon. Bye.